Alright, so let's begin. This is Toge Southwest, Season 2, Episode 12. Um, Today's date is 04/24/2025. 4/24/2025. Sounds weird. Next month will be like 5/25/2025. But anyways, yeah, just rambled there for a minute. Alright, so this is the beginning. Toge Southwest. TougesWW.com is the website. So if you want to see previous episodes and all that stuff, it's all listed there from season 1 to season 2. Old blog posts from the tragedy that I had back in 2019. Even older, actually. I have like coverage of old events that I have on Toge Southwest. Uh, there's a lot going on there. But yeah, all my episodes are definitely on the website. If you want to see, they directly link to all the YouTube videos that I post this up on. So it's technically both my podcast, my vlog, all in one here. So, so who am I? I am the Wandering Raven. I've been in the drifting scene since 2010. Since I moved up to Oregon, I had a huge, nice reboot in life there. Got chased out of Oregon because I had a crazy person up there who decided to take advantage of me and basically held me against my will and pushed me out of Oregon. So long story short, I came back in Vegas. I tried to mimic Toge Southwest at the time to mimic Toge Northwest, but that fell apart after I left Oregon, and I couldn't quite mimic Toge Southwest because the Southwest is definitely a different beast. I'm gonna keep saying that because it is a different beast. So it's just a lot of that going on. I picked up my first S12. That's the 1984 Nissan S12 Silvia or 200SX in America. Picked up my first one in Yakima, Washington, but I had to sell it before coming back to Vegas. But in Vegas, I ended up buying about 5 different ones. Five. I had 87, 287s, 285s, and no 286s and 185. Because I couldn't get the title for the 85, I ended up having to scrap it. I still have the other 87 in the backyard. What I want to do with that one is start collecting parts for that one and clean it out. And I wanted to build that as like I want to build that like either put like the V6 cross member into it and build that into like a little V6 carbureted BG34 beast that I wanted to do, but that's a lot of wiring to do too because a lot of the wiring harness on the body harness on that is pretty bad. But might actually, if I can ever afford or do it, I might do a special build on it to where I strip it all the way down. We build a whole new harness for the front and the rear, and follow the book little by little, and build a harness from there. That's a weird plan and a wild one there, but I know I'm going off tangent there. But that's so yeah. I am a cancer survivor. I'm going back on my tangent now of who I am. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm born and raised in Vegas. I drift, I hack, and I play video games. That's my skill of who I am. Um, I hack is basically my job during the day. At night, I do stuff like this. I love the drifting. I love the drifting scene. I love the car scene, especially import stuff. So I try to visit a lot with Vegas Drift because I can't go. I can't afford to go out of town like I love to. I would love to drive my car to like different events. That's my plan. I would love to get my car out into Apple Valley, places like that, and is it even like freaking Oakland area was having some major awesome freaking drift events that I'm always seeing on here. I'm seeing stuff like that on Arizona side, seeing stuff like that in SoCal side, and places like Apple Valley and Willow Springs um and all that. I would love to go up to like places like Colorado's places. I heard New Mexico actually had like a cool freaking couple of events happening there, and if ever allowed, maybe try to venture a little bit into the Texas scene. But I heard they're a different beast. They're not really Southwest. They're more the South. So I try to cover everything on the Southwest side, and that's my whole goal too. I want to go out drifting. I'm gonna do. I guess in a way, if you think about it, I want to make Tokyo Southwest more like the old-fashioned way of keep drifting fun. How they used to do. I would see these awesome videos on YouTube, and they would actually go up into different events and take pictures, do drifting and fun stuff like that. I kind of want to do stuff like that. I never really thought about it until like recently about it. Um, and, but yeah, in a nutshell, that is who I am. I am the Water Raven, born and raised in Vegas. I did live in Oregon, where I rebooted my whole life there. I was chased out of Oregon, and back to me again. And Toga Southwest was a basically it started off as a try to do a community, but ended up turning into a vlog slash blog slash podcast now. I was doing the podcast. I am still doing the podcast to keep myself motivated because ever since I lost my mother, it's been so freaking hard to cope with that loss. And since I lost her 2 days after my last drift event, it's been extremely hard for me. So, doing this to keep motivated, doing this to keep my car going. I'm trying my hardest to make things happen. I'm doing this all alone. I have no help whatsoever. I have no one to stop on by and say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you some hand and let's knock some stuff off your list." Um, I will list you at the end of the podcast here. Um, so what's next? The drift car. Um, so what have I done? I went to look for the oil leak, and let's see. Here's what I'll do. Don't need sound for us to look at this, and I don't think you need sound either. But all right, so let's go over this. This is one I'm having an issue with. Is the oil leak. So it's gonna be a little grainy here. This is where I'm thinking the oil leak's coming from. When I put this on, I couldn't feel the other one down here for some reason. But I think this is yanking this out, and I think this might be your rips. This is the oil return line from the turbo to the bottom of the pan. I need to get underneath there and pull that out. Get a new hose to go underneath, a little longer. That's not stretching like it is, and see if I can remediate that. But let's finish the video because you see there's oil everywhere here, and every time I start the car, it's dripping oil like crazy. So, we got oil. That's what I'm thinking. It's coming from the line because the line is really wet. Underneath is really wet. All this down here is really wet. That's why it kind of looks like from right here, like all the oil's hitting the back of this and dripping down. So I think the oil is like squirting out from high pressure. I don't think it's a rear main seal. If it is, that's gonna be really shitty. But I was trying to point at that because I wanted to look at this today. I didn't get to really look at this yet. But we were trying to look around. Kind of looks like, see the little drip right there. Don't, yeah, it doesn't really look like, yeah, that's pretty dry inside, isn't it? It would be covered in oil right here if it was coming from the inside. So if that's coming from right around here, wait, I really need to get it up there. And squirt some degreaser and try to clean that up. Let's see. But yeah, there's oil over here, over there. This is why I'm thinking it might also be the oil pan itself. Maybe it needs like an extra turn on each one of those nodes. Um, but it's kind of dry on that side, more wet on this side. So this might actually be squirting that oil back extremely bad. Uh, so yeah, this is like extremely wet. That whole line is wet, but I think that's what it is. I think it might just be that. Keep going. Let's see if I see anything else. Because if it was the oil pan itself, all of this would be wet too. But it's not. I really think it is that line. More looking at it. Um, I just hope it's not ripped, or I'm just hoping that the nipples for that is not, because that would suck. But whoa, what's this? That's a lot of weird hair. Oh, there must have been cats going underneath the car a lot, dude. I have all these stray cats around this house. Yeah, that's me investigating it. Um, so that's one thing I was doing, investigating that oil leak. Um, and then number two, let's start going through this. When I was trying to measure everything up, I was going to start putting everything together. I cut this out, and I realized that this was way too big for the main thing. So we'll go down. Me trying to figure things out over the weekend. One thing. Another one. Alright, here it goes. Yeah, the big tachometer there was way too big for this. If I'm gonna have a tach sitting inside in the center, it should fit. So I went on Amazon, ordered another cheap one. The reason why I'm going with cheap ones is design right now. So and I don't have the money to order something big. But yeah, look at this. This actually fits perfectly and snug inside. The whole back end fits right in the hole that I made. So it's gonna be good. And plus I can set this to be the ship light, and knowing that like 5.5 to 8 is the red zone. And this kind of matches the OEM one, which is perfect. This is a lot smaller than this. It's actually 3.5 inches. So it actually fits perfectly right in the center. Um, that's pretty much all I've been working on. I need to go back underneath. I'm trying to see if I can order some ramps to actually sit inside the garage that'll allow me to go underneath the car like that. So I don't have to put it on the jack stands, and I can just go underneath and see it. So, what's planned? Let's open up my spreadsheet real quick. S12 leftovers. So here's what's planned. We're still doing wiring, which is basically we're doing the cluster. We're building the cluster still. We're still working on it. That is, you know what? We're gonna add one more here real quick. Done. So I'll do yes and no. No. And no. Yes, this is done. Not almost done, but yeah, it's actually done now. That's it. Everything else is not done yet. So, just, I'm hoping that I can get this done. But that's a lot of done. Hey, for the raid. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a podcast at the moment. So, all right. So back in the podcast. This is what I'm working on. I've been done so far. Um, so thank you for the raid. I know this is going to be a part of the podcast now. So hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast. So if you want to see this episode of the podcast, it'll be on TougesSouthwest.com, or it'll be back on, or it'll be on the YouTube as well, or stuff. I'm in the middle of giving the status update of what I'm doing on my drift car. So Touge Southwest is what I mean by Touge Southwest, or TougesW.com. But there's a status report. I wanted to do a little extra tonight, so I'm closing. We're not fully closing yet because we're going to be doing some extra stuff here. I noticed that an old friend of mine actually made this huge website giving a lot of good information about it. So what I do is I drift a lot. I do a lot of drifting. I've been doing it since 2010. My chassis of choice is called the Nissan S12 Silvia S12, also known in the States as the 200 SX. Um, hmm, the motor I'm currently working with is the one that came from Japan, which is the CA18DET. This is what I've been working on. I have it running. There's a lot of problems going along with it. That's why I created a list. I'm working on the list. It's not just the motor itself. There's also chassis problems. Um, I'm trying to get that all worked out, and doesn't help as much as that I'm in the middle of doing some huge major project at work. It's causing um a lot of burnout currently for anything that I'm still toughing through it. So this is the C818 DT through dual overhead cam, turbocharged inline four. Let's see. Maximum output at 6400 RPMs. Oh, so now I know. So that's its power output around then. Okay, that's more than enough. Good to know. And the maximum torque is at 4000, so that's probably its red line is at 64. I knew that was going to be different. Originally, my car came with D30D E. It's only North America. It was a fun motor. I blew it up too many times. So good stuff. It was a little torquey, wasn't it? Always wanted one of these though. Hard to find. Very hard to find, hard to rebuild, hard to do anything with them. But they are the extremely bulletproof kind of motors. Hmm. I just like how they look. From the factory, they look just like that. Mm, but you know, let's see. Identification. Got anything new on this? Oh, they did. S12's identification. Color, trim, view database. We're adding on to this. Stamp W's identify the motor. Oh, that VG30 had the stamp W to it, so kind of cool. All S12 chassis cars were produced at the plant between 83 and 88. So technically all the S12s that I have are directly Japan-made cars. That is awesome. Let's see. Motorsports, they are definitely known for WRC. And what's the Bathurst 1000? I've never heard of that one. Yo, that looks cool actually. Hmm. The second place. What? Oh, MK1s. Uh, Jackson. Group A. 5. I don't think they ever I don't think any of these actually participated in Group B. But these cars were made as race cars because back in the 80s, Nissan did a lot of racing. Um, Nissan was a racing badass back in those days. That's what I like about it. That's what I love about these boxing cars. They're underrated. They're they were made during a time when racing was a main thing. Um, especially for Nissan at the time. I believe in the 90s they were breaking away from all the racing and started doing more consumer and stuff like that. While in the 80s and 70s and 60s, from the Datsun to the Nissan, they were doing a lot of racing. They were trying to go crazy with the racing situation. Um, these are definitely like a competitor towards the AE86 from Toyota. There's also Sprinter here in the States, like Toyota Corolla. The Toyota Corolla that was actually rear-wheel drive here in Toyota Celica, which is also the Celica Supra. That is some good history though. If you wanted to get more information on it, it's called S12Sylvia.com. The communities itself between the S12 S12 and S12 Sylvia, yeah, it's pretty good, decent, very, very respectable freaking communities. You know, no judges there, so it's awesome. What I love about even the drifting communities, there's no judgment there. Everyone tries to boost each other, keep going, because it's a fun sport. And let's see, what else do I have? I guess on top of the closing this weekend, I'm gonna look for that oil leak. Hopefully, replace the line. So where was it? All right, so let's put this down. We investigated and found a potential problem. that is what I'm working on. And then when that's done, we'll come back here and try to finish this. I know I'll just have the tack at the moment, but I need to orbit the other 3 gauges and go from there. I'm building my own little cluster, and then I can probably sneak these two in as well. So hopefully by if I don't decide to take a break on this for a little bit, hopefully by next Thursday, I'll have this hopefully more yes down here. I do need to replace battery. Uh, because the battery is kind of broken. It's, Vegas Heat destroys batteries. And I've had that battery since 2022. It is a refurbished battery already, so it lasting 2025 in this brutal heat, especially since it's been getting hotter than it used to be. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm surprised it still charges, so. Okay. So, in the closing, that's my closing part. I give some good information. Toge Southwest, TougesW.com. That's for all my previous versions of the podcast and where this is going to be going. It'll be on my YouTube channel, which is at Wandering Raven. I try to post this on my social medias, like from Blue Sky, um, Threads, definitely Threads because I have a lot of car people. That's on the Threads area. Uh, try to throw some snippets onto TikTok. So I've been getting some hits on that actually, so that's actually a good sign. Let's see. All right, so going. I just got rated here a little bit ago. Is there any questions, Q&As, anything I can answer? Any basic car information I can answer about my drift car? If you want to see one of my old videos of me doing some drifting, I can throw that up real quick if you want to see it. But it is 5 minutes after my planned time, but I did start a little late. Any questions, any answers, anything, any comments, questions, concerns? Um, if not, I think that's pretty much it. That's who is on tonight. Maybe we'll pass the love over to somebody. Tonight, there's nobody on anymore. Like I almost need a new people. Oh well. All right, so I don't see anybody there that I can raid. Unless anybody has a suggestion, I'm gonna go ahead and call it night. So my schedule's still there. I stream every night from 7 to 11 p.m. Tonight I'm ending a little early because podcasts. I normally do. I normally end with the podcast. So if there's any questions and answers, I'll let it extend longer. But I go from 10 to 11 on every Thursday night with Toki Southwest. Um, but it's like, yes, I've been doing this every Thursday. So I do this mainly because I wanted to keep myself accountable for everything I'm doing. I'm trying to keep myself self motivated. So every time I get support for this is actually more inspiring and encouraging. So I'm trying my best to keep this going. So I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Not sure what game. It's probably be super chill because I've been having one heck of a week, so and it's burning me out. I've normally been trying to keep like a nice chill game that's not full of PvP or anything, so so yep. And now my throat is actually burning up. So all right, so rambling on. Um, Thursday night will be episode. Next Thursday will be episode 13, unless I decide to take a break because something else comes up. But I got a lot to do still. I look forward to it. I hope I can build an audience. Keep going. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep. So thanks for hanging out. I will catch. Oh, good night.